This is my new app. And I think it can change your life. But before I show you what it can do, you need to understand the story behind it. You see, I've always been passionate about my health, and that passion led me to discovering a podcast called Huberman Lab.
I'm Andrew Huberman, and I'm a professor of neurobiology and ophthalmology at Stanford School of Medicine.
Every episode of that podcast is loaded with knowledge, but one theme kept popping up again and again and again.
Light viewing early in the day is the most powerful stimulus for wakefulness throughout the day, and it has a powerful positive impact on your ability to fall and stay asleep at night. You want to get outside and get as much light energy or photons in your eyes.
So let me get this straight. It's free, it's easy to do, and it can significantly improve your life. I had to try it. I started drinking my coffee outside every morning, and after a few days, I did notice a difference. I slept better, I was more focused during the day, it was easier to fall asleep at night, and I woke up feeling more well-rested. I was amazed by this because sleep is so important, and this habit is so easy to do. I became obsessed with tracking how much sunlight I was getting, what the weather was like that day, the time of day I was getting the sunlight, and how all of that affected me. The only problem is, I was tracking all of it on a notepad, like a jackass. That notepad is what led me to creating this app. Okay, so when I set out to do this, here's what I knew. I knew I wanted to help people track their sunlight exposure, and I knew that I could use the iPhone's camera to do that. At a high level, it's just we want to encourage and help people get morning sunlight. Once I realized that the iPhone's camera could track how much light is coming in, it was off to the races. I came up with the coolest idea for this app. Before I show you that, let's go through the design. Okay, so let's start here. I knew I wanted to have like a really cool home dashboard. There's a lot going on this screen, but here's what I knew I wanted. I wanted all of the user statistics and encouragement on this screen. I also wanted a big Get Sunlight button for when the user is ready to go to that camera view. Camera view's simple. It's gonna be mostly your camera with one small message from the app's mascot, and then a button to say, okay, I'm ready to go, record this sunlight. From there, you would go to a timer screen that's a big circular progress ring. This is where I wanted to give my users that variable reward to kind of get inside the psyche of what makes apps really addicting. I want the user to feel good when they use my app, so I'm going to give them encouraging messages, sunlight facts, etc. It's funny though, because my design process typically is just like rough sketches, and that gives me a sense of direction. So what you see here is like very quick, rough, get your ideas down on paper. Okay, I would now like to introduce you to Riser. Riser is a rooster, and Riser is the app's mascot, much like Duo from Duolingo. Riser can be happy, surprised, be falling asleep, or he could be waking up. Riser, the name, came from the name of the app, which is called Riseroo. Rise up in the morning, wake up, morning sunlight. Roo, rooster, cock-a-doodle-doo. Yeah, Riseroo is the name of the app. Okay, so now we have a rough idea of what we want this to look like. It's time to build it. Building this app is really exciting for me because I do think that it could help a lot of people. So when I'm building, I think it's a lot easier to build sort of like a rough draft of each screen. So without further ado, here are some rough drafts of screens. This is my first iteration of the home dashboard. We have our calendar that shows which days you viewed sunlight, but then we have this little message at the top that looks like it's coming from Riser the rooster, where he's gonna say like, hey, you've done 2 days in a row, let's keep it up, encouraging our users along the way. So then I added a couple of things. Basically, we have our daily score here. If you view the right amount of sunlight at the right times of the day, you'll have 100%. So it'll allow the user to sort of strive to get that 100% every day. And then below that, we have this like statistical comparison of like, here's your best month, your last month, and your year in total. And then like a progress ring of like, here's how you're doing so far this month. Once again, just to encourage the user along the way. So then you could see that I tried to get a little fancy with the design, and this looks like shit. I don't like it at all. And I ended up with this like off-white background with white on top of it, using shadows to kind of make them pop. I really like that. From there, I was able to add a chart Basically another way to show the user how they're doing. And all of this data, the idea is to just bring it all into one central place for them. So next we have the first iteration of the camera screen. We have this like rough instruction of aim your camera toward the sun, then without moving, tap the ready button to record light levels and begin your session. This looks terrible. I also wanted a way to warn the users of like safety concerns and to make sure that they're doing everything the right way. So then I came up with this like pop-up that shows the user that, don't look directly at the sun, this won't work through a window, etc. And then I came up with this iteration, which I like a lot, that gives you like a short instruction, aim your camera toward the sun, and then it also tells you your current light levels. So you can see that you have this listing of your current light, and then when you're ready to view, you can hit ready. The user will see that pop up, like a warning with safety concerns and stuff like that, if they hit this button in the top right. Okay, so for the landing page, this is just when you open the app and it shows it very quickly. I wanted like a cool sun type of gradient, kind of too boring. Then this was the iteration that I landed on for now. Just a cool Riseroo, just to remind the person what app they're using, I guess. And then when the user does click the I'm ready button, they will be taken to this timer view that needs a lot of work. But basically from here, we will have an assigned amount of time. It'll say like you need 18 minutes today or you need 6 minutes today. The user can hit start and then they'll have like, okay, I'm done. And then their score will be updated. Oh, hey, your boy's been coding. I got an update for you. Here's what I have so far. So this is our landing page. This is what you'll see as soon as you open the app. From here, we have Unlock Your Potential. These are our onboarding screens. Harness the power of sunlight to boost productivity, creativity, and overall well-being. We have this beautiful little sun view animation. Then we have Backed by Science. Morning sunlight can enhance your alertness, mood quality, sleep, metabolism, and more. At any moment, the user is able to hit get started or log in if they're an existing user. Then we have a testimonial from one of the early testers of the app. The user would hit get started. This screen has been proven to be effective for onboarding, where it basically asks the user to confirm what your app does. Like, why did you come to Riseroo? Why did you download this app? We're able to gather that data about the user. From there, this will be the permission view where we're gonna need your location access to get the weather, for example. And I think it's just easier to get this permission early on. From here, you will have a registration screen, which is obviously not finished yet. Name, we can do subscribe to Logan. But then yeah, you're brought to this home screen. We have Riser the Rooster telling you what the weather is like in your area. 82 degrees, mostly clear, and then that will allow us to use that data for the algorithm that is not finished yet. But the fact that we're able to fetch this is huge already. So if I were to hit get sunlight and pretend that, it's the morning and I want to get some sunlight, it's asking for camera access. We want to say yes. From there, we are able to get the amount of light that's coming in through the camera. This is our alert. 3 things to remember. Don't wear sunglasses. Glasses or contacts are okay. This doesn't work through a window. And do not look directly at the sun. You idiot. Then you hit I'm ready, and you have like an encouraging message from Riser the Rooster, and you can start this timer. Basically, once this timer is up, the user's score will update. I have to clean this screen up a ton because it's like bare bones minimal right now, but I think it's starting to come together. It's really exciting for me, and I'm anticipating some future challenges, but so far so good. I think it's like, once I wire everything up, put everything on a database and actually fetch and create that data, then, there's not much else to do. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Right now, I'm working on the authentication of the app. And what that means is the ability to sign up, to log in, or log out. So I just finished up the authentication part of the app, and it is huge. It is so important. This simple, clean design with Riser guiding you along the way. The cool thing is, when we test this and we refresh the screen, we are able to see our user signed in the database. So our users are able to sign in. Now let's build the most important part of this app. It is crucial that our users get assigned the correct amount of sunlight. So after a lot of planning, your boy went to the kitchen and he cooked up an algorithm. So the way the algorithm works, without revealing too much, is that it takes into account the time of day, the amount of light, and the current weather that day. So we will need the camera permission, the location permission, and that's it. Oh, and guess what? There's more good news. I updated the timer view, and the timer view is mostly finished. We have Riseroo with the message at the top, and then we have like an insight that says, if you complete this full session, your score will increase by blank. The way the scoring works is that if you get sunlight in the morning, you can get up to 100% because it is the most important. If you get sunlight in the evening, you can get an increase of up to 70% because evening sunlight is pretty important as well. And if you get afternoon, like midday sunlight, your score can increase by up to 30% because it's not as important for your circadian rhythm, but there are benefits. I made it so that if you miss the morning sunlight session, you can still get 100% for that day if you get sunlight in the afternoon and the evening. I edited the layout a little bit. We have the buttons looking a lot better, and then we have like a little insight message that just says, backgrounding the app won't stop the timer, but navigating to another Riseroo page will. So it basically says like, stay on the screen, but you can move around your phone as you would like. And yeah, when the user is finished here, their score will update, they'll hit I'm done, and they'll go back to the home page with some fresh, updated data. I'm excited. It is time to test. I have the current version up now, and you can see that it is cloudy outside. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the get sunlight. I'm gonna test this algorithm out. I'm gonna aim it at the sun, and I'm gonna click ready. Okay, so it works. The reason that it works is because when it's cloudy out, we should have a minimum of 15 minutes. Now, if I go back a lower amount of light, for example, it works again. It gives me 20 minutes. Shit's coming along. I'm excited. So, you know I had to use ChatGPT for this project too. So, I wasn't sure how ChatGPT would fit into this project, but I asked it, write 20 facts about getting morning sunlight, but keep them under 80 characters and present them in a fun, insightful, encouraging way. ChatGPT gives me 20 of them, and they're great. They have emojis. Then I say, please format those in an array of strings in Swift and name the array Morning Sunlight Facts Fun. So all I have to do from that point is copy that, place it in my project. So I'm gonna be able to pick a random one out of here and show it to the user. So ChatGPT is able to save me a lot of time with these sort of things. What would you like first? The good news or the bad news? The good news is I have been working. I have been coding, I have been testing, I have been iterating, I've been changing things, one of which is the scoring system. There's no longer a scoring system. I'm tracking streaks, baby. I'm keeping it simple. I felt like I was trying to get fancy, and my gut was just telling me, don't reinvent the wheel here. I'm able to save and fetch data. The calendar works, the chart works, the insights work, the algorithm works. Now it's all about doing all of the little things to get it ready for App Store submission, which brings me to the bad news. Hey, you guys know WWDC, right? Apple's giant conference. They just announced, when I was close to shipping this app, that the Apple Watch can now track daylight exposure. You know, the Apple Watch that millions of people all over the world have? Yeah, that one. So just as I'm getting ready to ship this and put this out into the world, thinking it's this innovative thing, Apple's like, oh, hey, you could do that on the Apple Watch now. You kidding me, Clark? So yeah, all jokes aside, I need to think about this. I don't know, is it still worth doing? I was having fun with it. I do think it's cool, but that's Apple. I don't know. I don't know what to do. What do you even do in this scenario? You keep going. That's what you do. Riseroo is now available on iOS. I'll see you in 30 days to tell you how it went. Boom! Music.